It's a Saturday morning. You're 12 years old. There's that bowl of cereal going soggy on the coffee table because you forgot it was there. The TV's on, the controller is warm in your hands, and somewhere in the house, there's a clock ticking toward that exact moment your mom's voice is going to cut through those walls. Turn that thing off, and you squeezed one more minute. You always tried to squeeze one more minute. Nobody told you to be good at games. Nobody had to. You just were. Because games weren't a wind down session after a 10-hour day. They weren't a 45-minute escape before your alarm goes off. Games were the whole day. And somewhere between then and now, that version of you got just a little bit quieter. Here's the thing that nobody really says out loud. You didn't lose your love for gaming. You didn't get worse. And you didn't grow out of it. Life just got louder. And when life gets louder, the thing that used to be everything becomes the thing you actually have to make time for. And making time for something you used to live inside of, well, it feels different. It feels smaller. When we were 12, our entire cognitive load was wake up, eat, play games, don't get caught. That was the whole equation. Now, that equation has a mortgage, it has deadlines, it has that one email you still haven't replied to. It has somebody else's schedule, someone else's needs, a body that's tired before you even sit down. And then, just then, you boot up a game. And within the first hour, there's a skill tree you don't understand. A combat system with mechanics you haven't touched. And a world so enormous it almost feels like homework. Of course it feels different. Of course it does. That's not a skill gap. That's a life gap. You remember when the lobby was the game. Before matchmaking was a science, before rankings and algorithms decided who you played with. You just played, with the same 6 people night after night, same lobby, different chaos. Someone's mic was always too loud, someone was always rage quitting, and nobody cared about KDs because nobody was keeping score on the stuff that mattered. You were just there, together, loud, and alive. The game was the excuse. And I know some of you are thinking, it's not the same though. You're right, it's not. But different isn't worse. Different is just different. You're not 12, and you're not playing to fill a Saturday. You're playing because you chose to. Out of a whole list of things you could be doing with the 45 minutes you carved out, you chose this. That's more intentional than anything you did at 12. You didn't choose gaming then. It just was. Now you're choosing it on purpose, despite everything. Our parents yelling to turn it off. They thought they were pulling you away from something pointless. They weren't wrong to worry, but they were wrong about what it was. It wasn't pointless. It was the last place you got to just be. No responsibilities, no performance reviews, just a controller, a screen, and whatever happened next. You knew that even then you couldn't say it. You know it now. So if you're sitting there at 11 p.m., exhausted, loading into a world that has nothing to do with your actual life, dude, that's not a waste of time. That's maintenance. That's you keeping that part of yourself alive. Do not let it go quiet. I repeat, do not let it go quiet. If you're an older, tired gamer, and you found this channel, you're in the right place. This is for the ones who played until their parents yelled, who still play, even when life gets louder. And with that being said, please consider subscribing. Please consider liking this. I really do appreciate all your guys' support. And dude, grab a chair and grab a controller because we're just getting started.